see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sex.
From the start of the morning session at the Chang International Circuit, Toprak immediately stepped on the gas. The Yamaha motorcycle with its latest V4 configuration sounded much more aggressive on the straights. While in previous tests the bike had been considered raw and difficult to control, the situation was different now. Acceleration out of turns 3 and 12 was noticeably more explosive, even causing some of his rivals to look in surprise at the timing data. During several flying laps, the rear of the motorcycle appeared to lose traction several times exiting slow corners. The rear tire seemed to be working at its maximum limit. In one dramatic moment, Toprak nearly lost control when opening the throttle too quickly in the final sector. The motorcycle swerved aggressively, forcing Toprak to make quick corrections in his trademark style, maintaining balance using his trademark extreme body control. Yamaha's technical team reacted immediately. They seemed focused on reading the telemetry data, particularly on power distribution from mid-corner to corner exit. The latest V4 engine is designed to deliver better top speed than the previous generation, but its more aggressive power delivery makes adaptation key. Strikingly, Toprak's times continued to improve throughout the day. In the afternoon session, he managed to break a time close to the unofficial track record for the 2026 spec bike. Several sources in the paddock even said his speed this time was significantly different from Yamaha's performance at the previous Sepang test. The biggest change was seen in braking stability. Toprak, known as one of the best late-braking riders in the world, now looked more confident. The combination of a revised chassis and new weight distribution made the bike more stable under hard braking. Although even when fully throttled, the V4's immense power still felt too quick to bite. Several times, thin smoke could be seen from the rear tire as he pushed the bike out of corners. It was a sight that left the mechanics mixed with tension and awe. This wasn't just another test, it was an exploration of limits. One thing was clear from the full Buriram test 2026. Yamaha was no longer playing it safe. They had come up with a completely different package. This V4 engine wasn't a minor evolution, it was a major revolution. And if Toprak can tame its brutal nature, this combination could pose a real threat to his rivals next season. And here's the full news. The full test in Thailand was truly a proving ground. Amid the blazing sun and extreme asphalt temperatures, the cameras, telemetry data, and paddock attention were focused on one figure, Toprak Razgatlioglu. This time, he wasn't just fast. He looked like he was challenging the limits of physics with Yamaha's ambitious project, the latest generation, 2026 V4 engine. From the moment the morning session began at the Chang International Circuit, something was different. The sound of Yamaha's V4 engine was deeper, more solid, and far more aggressive than the previous version. Every time Toprak opened the throttle on the main straight, the bike launched with brutal acceleration, causing the first sector gap to instantly change color on the timing screen. In the initial runs, the team focused on engine mapping and throttle response. Yamaha reportedly brought several different ECU configurations to test in Buriram's high-temperature conditions. But after just a few laps, it was clear that Toprak was starting to find his rhythm. He maximized late braking at turn 1, held the bike steady under hard braking, and then unleashed the V4's power explosively on the corner exit. In the second sector, the drama began. The V4's more powerful mid-to-high RPM character put extra strain on the rear tire. On two separate occasions, the rear of the bike seemed to slide wildly when Toprak opened the throttle too aggressively. A long slide ensued, not just a small spin, but a full-on slide with extreme lean angles. But with his trademark reflexes and body control, he kept the bike upright and continued the lap as if nothing had happened. The Yamaha team on the pit wall looked tense. Several engineers immediately pointed to the data screens. examining the traction control and torque delivery graphs. This was clearly not a tame bike. This was a machine with great potential, but it was still on the verge of being out of control. Entering the afternoon session, track temperatures had risen dramatically. Normally, this would slow lap times. However, the opposite happened. Toprak posted a faster time than in the morning session. The final sector, which relies on acceleration out of slow corners, provided significant improvement in the V4's power. Some paddock observers even said his time was approaching the benchmark for the strongest bikes on the 2026 grid. And most strikingly, his speed in the speed trap showed a significant improvement compared to Yamaha's performance in the previous test at Sepang. However, that speed again created a tense moment. On one flying lap, Toprak nearly lost control completely at turn 5. The bike appeared to oversteer severely as he exited the corner. The rear tire spewed thin smoke due to excessive spin. For a split second, the bike appeared to be on the verge of a high side. But with quick counter-steering and precise throttle control, he salvaged the situation. The crowd watching from the stands could be heard cheering at the rescue. This is Toprak's style: bold, aggressive, and always on the limit. Yamaha's new chassis also received attention. Several geometry revisions reportedly made the front end more stable when entering fast corners. Toprak appeared very confident entering the fast sectors, especially the long combination of corners in Sector 3. The bike no longer seemed floating, as in the previous test. The afternoon focused on long-run simulations. This is where the real test began. Single lap speed is impressive, but consistency over 15 to 20 laps is far more crucial. Initially, Toprak's rhythm was strong. However, halfway through the simulation, rear tire degradation began to be felt. Slides became more frequent, traction control worked more intensely, and some lap times improved by almost half a second. The team immediately tried small adjustments to the swing arm setup and weight distribution. The results were quite positive. Stability improved, although the wild character of the V4 engine remained evident at full throttle. The most interesting thing about the full Buriram test 2026 wasn't just about the lap times. It was about the transformation. Yamaha was clearly no longer playing it safe with the old configuration. They took a big risk with a much more aggressive V4 concept. And Toprak is the type of rider who thrives in such conditions. Towards the end of the session, he set another fast lap on used tires. This was an indication that his adaptation to the V4's brutal nature was beginning to take shape. His body language on the bike looked more unified. The slides that had previously seemed wild were now more controlled. If this project continues to develop, the combination of Toprak and the Yamaha V4 could become one of the most explosive packages of the 2026 season. The raw speed is there. The top speed potential has increased. Braking stability remains a key strength. The only challenge left is to tame that power so it doesn't backfire during the actual race. Buriram may have been just a test, but from what was seen today, it was more than just that. A normal test. This is a signal. A signal that Yamaha is building something serious. A signal that Toprak is ready to become a major threat again. And a signal that the 2026 season could be filled with brutal duels from the first lap.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take her